Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to Old Red's channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about how legit is Arman Tsarukyan. He takes on the number one pound for pound Islam Makhachev, UFC 311. Let's get serious. Okay, boys and girls, this video is brought to you by PrizePicks. The college national championship is coming up, and Ohio State quarterback Will Howard is a free square. So take advantage of that free square before it's too late. Now, if you're into sports, you can pick more or less on your favorite players in the NBA, NHL, UFC, boxing. It's available in states like Texas, California, and 30 more, plus Canada. For new users, you place a $5 lineup and you'll get $50 instantly when you sign up. Use code TIMBO, all caps, TIMBO, when you sign up. And keep an eye on my Instagram and Snapchat stories. I'm going to be having some picks for UFC 311 and gonna get us some cheddar. That's code TIMBO, PrizePicks. Check it out. Let's take a peek here. Arman Tsarukyan. The dude is not a huge dude. He's 5'7", but he's dense. He's a dense ball of muscle. Yeah. And right now, his record is 22 wins and 3 losses. He's got 9 KOs, 5 submissions, 8 decisions, and he's been fighting the creme de la creme. He fought Islam before, lost a unanimous decision, a pretty competitive fight, and then he just went on a tear. He beat Oliveira Mercier from Canada. He beat Davi Ramos, who's a small, explosive black belt. Beat Matt Frivola, who's a beast. Beat Cristo Giagos, Joel Alvarez. Ended up losing a decision to Matthias Gamrot. And I've heard those Russians say before, if there's anyone that's going to become champion, it's going to be Matthias Gamrot because of his wrestling is so good. And then he comes back and he goes on a 4-fight win streak against Demir, Joaquim Silva. Beneil Dararouche KO'd Beneil. And then he had that fight with Charles Oliveira. That was an absolute war. And we were cage side for that. Howling, squealing. Let's take a peek here when Arman fought Charles Oliveira. And that was April 13th, 2024. And let's break down a little bit of his skills here. This was crazy. I mean, Charles walked out. He had his wife behind him, bawling her eyes out. His walkout was so emotional. And it was an intense arena when this fight was about to happen. They come out orthodox. Arman starts pumping his jab. Okay, so Arman goes to throw a lead kick. Charles Oliveira kicks his back leg. Right away, Arman wrestles up. He doesn't want to give up the takedown. And in a front headlock with Charles Oliveira, you're in danger. I don't care who you are. You're in danger if the guy gets you in a front headlock. Very much danger. So watch Charles here. Charles here, he has both his arms deep. Both of his arms deep in this front headlock. And that means you have an option for a Dars. That means you have an option for Anaconda. That means you have an option for a high elbow power guillotine. Bunch of options when people start doing this. So long arm people usually have to dive for the Dars, or they have to break them down with a front quarter. But Charles here, he can just lock this Dars up straight up. He can just straight up do it from his knees. So look at Arman here. With the Dars Anaconda, oh shoot, he jumps guillotine. So he jumps Arman guillotine, and it's a deep Arman guillotine. Fresh, dry, there's no sweat. But look at Arman here doing the correct thing. If he sits here and waits in this guillotine, Charles Oliveira is probably going to choke him out, but automatically he's trying to get his body on the opposite side of his head. Falls to his hips. Now here, you can't fall all the way to your back or you'll be in a mounted guillotine, and that ain't much better. So you just stand your hip and you try to free your hips from this full guard position. Watch Arman doing the perfect defense. Pushing on the top of his knee, trying to just free his hips. Really trying to pop his hips out, but you're getting strangled. So you have to stay calm in your mind when you're getting strangled like this and still try to do the right defense. And you can see it's affecting Arman big time. He's choking. And you know it goes through his head, tapping out. It goes through his head. Now he's able to pop his hips out. Pops his hips out and pulls his trousers down. Okay. Pops his hips out. Charles thinks ahead, ends up mounting him. And this is a bad spot to be against Charles. Mounted within 30-40 seconds of the fight. Charles lands a nice elbow. Pushing off the face, sliding off, slicing his face with elbows here. Full mount. Let's see how Arman gets out of this. You can't hang out there too long. And the classic mount escape where you you shrimp and you put your elbows on their knee. It doesn't work well because you're going to have to eat a couple elbows to the face. Another elbow to the lips. And that guillotine, the fact that Arman to survive that guillotine was crazy. Was crazy. And Charles, the thing is, especially when you're fresh like that, you squeeze 100%. 100%. You put everything into that choke, and then you don't get it. Takes a lot of juice out of those arms. Full mount, roughs him up here. And how does he get out? Just the classic day one. Day one in jiu-jitsu, you'll learn this. Trap the arm and bridge him. Arman traps the arm, day one jiu-jitsu, and bridges him. Gets out on top in Charles's full guard, which is a dangerous place to hang out too, but I'm sure at American Top Team they had him ready for this. Going into Charles's full guard, staying square with his hips, keeping his head right under his chin so he can stay safe. Charles is so dangerous here when he has that overhook with his left arm, wrist control on the far side, very flexible legs for omoplatas, arm bars, triangles. So majority of this round, so here we go. Charles tries to make some space, get a knee shield, push him away. Arman goes back to stay on top, and look how fast Charles is with this triangle. Shoots up the triangle right away. Arman has the perfect defense. He has a great reaction to the triangle. If you hang out down with your posture on that triangle, he's going to hook it up quick. Posture kills the triangles. If you feel someone triangling you, or you feel the triangle about to come on, and you look to the ceiling and get your posture up, posture kills the triangles. So there we go. He postures up perfectly. Back in the guard. Let's see how this scramble happens. Back in the guard. Still Charles has that overhook. Controls posture. Goes to rip a nice butterfly sweep. Into a wizard. Goes front headlock. And now they're up. They're up on the feet. Double unders here. Orthodox. And that was a fast pace. So there's a tiring first round. Here we go. Round two. Let's see what happens. Let's fast forward here. Arman stepping in with 3-2s. The thing is about Islam is way bigger than Arman. Islam looks like he walks around 195 pounds and he's a clean 5'11". We saw Arman pretty recently. 5'7". Looks like he walks around maybe 175, maybe on a heavy day 180. So he's definitely the smaller guy. Okay, beautiful shot here. Charles steps in with a jab. Arman changes levels, goes high crotch, runs the pipe right away, and jumps to the right side on the guillotine right away. Beautiful finish, head up. Hips in. You see how strong he is here, especially against Charles, who's so tall. It's hard to get his feet off the mat. Charles does a good job. Attacking the neck, works back up to his feet. Let's see if Arman stays on this takedown or not. At this point, Charles is pretty beat. Probably should let go of the head here. They say they have a trick. They say they see some tendencies that Islam does every fight, and they have a trick for him. Similar to the trick that Jorge Masvidal had for Ben Askren. They saw a tendency. They saw when you come at him what way he dips his head. Double knee to the lips. Arman's training with the same team. American Top Team. So they're going to have a good trick. I'm excited to see what it is. How does he finish his takedown here? Charles got to let go of the head at this point. He's pretty beat. Arman gets his hips in, splits his legs, knee in the middle. Big lift, and ends up beating him. Gets the takedown and a wrist ride. Quick with the wrist ride. Charles sees that, lets go, and we go back to full guard here. So this just shows you how strong Arman is. He's not a huge dude, but he's strong. He's a dense ball of muscle, and he's very skilled on the ground. Stays square with the hips. Charles is trying to make some space here. Arman looking to rough him up. Okay, so this is the end of the second round here. I remember this. End of the second round. Charles's legs are so flexible. Gets him caught in a deep triangle here. Deep triangle. Look at his posture's broke. His head's down. His posture's broke. This could be bad. This could be armbar or triangle. Charles is cranking it. That could very well have been the end of the fight. I don't think it would have, though. I think Arman would have let his arm break. He would have let his arm break and kept coming through. Here we go. Round 3. Still springy. Still springy. Good flexibility. Throws a left head kick to the lips. And looks to close the distance. He doesn't really want to stand at range with Charles with those long-ass knees, those long limbs that Charles got. So he's looking to get inside, clinch him up here. Puts him on the fence. He's got a real good 3-2. Good left high kick. Let's see how he scores. He goes double leg, head inside, double leg, jab, double leg, locks his hands against the fence. Remember, anytime you're shooting against the fence, I always say it. You need to lock your hands on the double leg. Lock your hands below their butt. It's an easy finish, no matter how good of a wrestler you are. Someone locks their hands and starts lifting you, they're going to take you down. Takes him down, passes the side control real easy. Charles will still hold on to the guillotine. And sometimes when you pass, you take someone down, they're grabbing your neck, and you pass, they're still choking your neck. And it's uncomfortable. But it's not going to choke you. It's not hitting both arteries. So you drive your shoulder into him. Stay patient. Let him squeeze. Drive the shoulder. And then now Charles knows he's beat. Pulls his left arm out of there. Could threaten the Von Flue choke here. And it looks like he is threatening the Von Flue choke. Especially with gloves. With gloves in that shoulder. Your hand's stuck now. So he's feeling it. Charles is a good black belt in jiu-jitsu. Knows how to stay calm. Knows how to make a little space. Find some air and escape. Passes the guard and takes the back. Takes the back. Not both hooks yet. Classic wrestling ride. Charles is in the front headlock again. Front headlock again. Late in the fight. Look at his right arm going deep over the armpit, looking for the Dars. And he locks up a Dars. Jesus, locks up a Dars. Short time here. Short time here. Charles isn't going to have the same juice he had. And Arman goes to flatten out, pull his elbow down to his armpit so he can make some space to breathe. And you can see this is getting tight. Charles is emptying the tank. He probably can hear his quarter. That's a short time. So Charles would have to pass him out. Arman jumps up. Didn't look like it was affecting him a ton. And, man, he gets in some dangerous spots. Arman got in some dangerous spots where 99.9% of the world would have given up and said, all right, he got me next time. But he doesn't. The dude's an absolute animal. 4-fight win streak. He's fought Islam before. He's felt Islam's power before. He's with a great team. They got a great plan. I'm fired up for the fight. Fired up. It's going to be good. So I'm going to leave you with this. UFC 311. Hit that like and subscribe button and comment what you think below. Can Arman get it done versus the pound for pound king Islam Makhachev? Love you boys. See you soon.